Good morning, everybody, over here on Black and White Network and Black and White News on Rumble. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me make sure we're over there and it's transmitting. I do believe that, yep, we're good on Rumble as well. What's going on, Rhodes? How you doing today?
Nothing. Everything is going wonderfully. How are you, Mr. Matrix? I am just getting the day started. Got one video out and preparing for a doctor's visit I got to go to with my wife.
Yeah. That's why we're doing the stream at 9 instead of 10. And yesterday I had to be out like most of the day. So, but tomorrow we'll be back on the right track at 10 a.m.
Correct.
Yep.
And very quickly before we get started, let me make sure to remind everybody we are available on podcasts wherever fine podcasts are available. It's going to be Apple, Google, Spotify, Castbox. You know the drill. Go subscribe, please, right now.
Yes. The podcast is definitely growing.
It is growing. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm trying to get it's still playing ads over here on YouTube. I was like, why is there an ad running right there? But I did monetize the live stream. But smash the thumbs up button, guys, if you do not mind. Also over there on Rumble as well, smash it also. I know we got a few people over there actually watching right now. We appreciate the support. And what are we going to be talking about, Rhodes?
I think we've got Bud Light on the agenda.
Yeah.
The yellow water known as Bud Light is on the agenda. Before we even get too far into it, I mean, I never did like Bud Light, to be honest with you. I never did drink it.
You never had one, or?
Oh, I've had one, sure, but it just never was my beer of choice. You know, I can honestly say I was more of a Miller Lite guy, I guess. And
I like Shiner
back when I was lifting all the time and watching my carbs, I drank Michelob Ultra. But you got to be careful because Anheuser-Busch has got all kinds of different beer,
a ton of stuff.
Michelob, Shock Top. What else did I see yesterday?
It's not even just beer. Don't they own? You said Monster drinks, right?
Oh, do they? No, Coca-Cola owns Monster.
Oh, okay. I thought you had said Monster, but they own other stuff that's not beer too, right?
I think so. I think they own all kinds of things. Yeah,
and trust me, guys, if you want to boycott, it's going to be tough. To boycott the whole company.
Well, and like I said the other day, in my video, I walked in Walmart at 4 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon this past weekend, and I mean, the shelves were full of Bud Light. And in East Texas on a Saturday afternoon, Bud Light shelves ought to look like a disheveled, Black Friday mess.
Right.
I mean, it should be,
right.
I mean, they just should be bought down. Other kinds of beers were bought down, not Bud Light. It was filled to the rim. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Let's recognize some chat before we go too far. Artie Chico, Eugene Moats, MPC, J, Cregan, KJ Flight, Ladybug, Janie Kelly, Mrs. Rants, Mick Walsh, channel member, Joey AR, Dante Drake, Chris Lee, Iron Man, Achilles Weir, Lando Calrissian in the house. 3 made amps.
Where's Lando Calrissian?
Right.
Oh, I see him now. I see him now. Got it.
He's been around here a long time, very long time. Michael Todd, B63, and Mick Wall. Oh no. Let's not even. Do we have to go down?
No, we don't have to talk about Lizzo and the Mandalorian. But hey, man, you missed Super Chat here. Mick Walsh.
I didn't miss it.
Oh,
Oh,
He's vomiting, everybody.
I am vomiting. Yes.
Yep.
Mick Walsh with the $2. What is that? Is that pounds? What is that?
Pounds. He's in the UK, man.
That's right. I refer to Bud Light as Badger Piss. All right.
Right on. Thanks for that donation, and also we did leave a pinned comment on YouTube for if you want to make a direct Streamlabs donation, but Super Chat also works as well. And by the way, thanks to everybody for the super thanks on videos. This channel has been getting some super thanks because we definitely been facing censorship over here. The YouTube is wow. They kind of been going off.
I noticed a little sneaky growth the last about 5 to 6 days on this channel. Little sneaky growth. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And hell, the other sports channel is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
So.
But we actually had one of the biggest videos here on this channel you actually put up. That Bud Light video, it had 175,000 views or something like that. I believe that was our second biggest video here on this channel.
Yeah, that was a salesperson that was a beer merchandiser, which I don't know what it pays now. That used to be a pretty good job, but he was doing kind of what I was talking about with Walmart. He was in the store the other day, and he was like showing the Bud Light shelf and was like, it's clear that Bud Light didn't understand their demographics. And can you imagine? All right, let's just get into it. Can you imagine a beer company coming out and literally saying out loud the words, "We want to get away from our frat boy image"? Have you ever met a beer drinker? I mean, that's his question mark. Have you ever met a beer drinker? I'm just, toxic masculinity is the very lifeblood of beer, for crying out loud.
College parties have a lot of beer.
Dude, look, toxic masculinity, you're hanging around, you're watching UFC, 7 guys sitting around the TV watching UFC, drinking beer. Wives are in the room. You know what? Wives of toxic masculinity dudes also drink beer. Same said beer. So when you talk shit about that customer base, do realize that when the husband leaves and the boyfriend leaves, the wife leaves, and then the wife talks to her girlfriends and is like, have you seen the guy dressed up as a chick that Bud Light has decided to get as a spokesperson? And they're like, no, that's kind of gross. Also, that's probably against our religious beliefs. So let's scratch Bud Light off of our consumption list and anything that and look, people are when it comes to beer, people are generally very loyal, and that's what I guess Bud Light did not realize. Look, those were loyal customers. Those were repeat customers. Those were guys that probably buy beer every weekend by the case so they could start sipping on a Friday night and watch their whatever sporting events they want to watch on Saturday and a little bit of Sunday and whatever, this, that, and the other. All those people just walked out the door.
Yep.
They just walked out the door. And why would you hire a woman like that? I saw the VP. Why? I mean,
why is Disney hiring those same people? She would fit right in at Walt Disney.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you bring her in and you ask her, as she's interviewing, what do you think about our beer? Well, it's great, but I think too many dudes drink it. What? Can you
realize
repeat
that
that for me?
dudes are the ones that's mostly buying the beer, right?
Yeah.
How many trans people are actually buying beers? I'm not saying trans people don't buy beers, but that market right there is minute. extremely, extremely minute. Now, of course, you're not going to get any kids, trans kids, to actually buy. They're too young. So your window is extremely small.
It's baffling. I mean, you would think she would be like, I think Bud Light's got a little bit too much of a toxic masculinity image and a frat boy image. And I would be like,
You know what they mean when they actually say toxic masculinity, right? They're just talking about masculinity in general.
dudes,
Yeah,
straight up
yeah.
dudes.
The only men that they like is like Dylan Mulvaney, the ones that don't want to be men.
Uncle Jesse, dudes that are wearing their hey, we're getting ready to go
Trucker hat.
fishing. This is my Columbia PFG fishing hat with the flag on. That dude that's casting out, holding his beer in his hand, waiting for something to come along the bite, or the guy that, I mean, it's unbelievable that you want to shit on your customer base. It's baffling to me. It's a failure of epic proportions of basic business and capitalism 101. It's like, and these people work themselves up to these positions. I mean, how does that happen? I mean,
I
how
have no
can
idea.
they possibly get to that level in that kind of a company and be that damn out of touch with it's crazy as hell. It's crazy. But one thing you can best damn well know, those people that got up and left, they've done found them another beer. They're not coming back.
Yeah. There's competition. I mean, when I actually drink beer, I like Dos Equis Lager Special. I like Schonebach. There's other beers out there, and it seems people are actually doing that right now. Let me read a couple of these super chats that came in before we dive into this first main topic here. Iron Man just sends $2. We appreciate it, man. Iron Man, bit supporter, also a supporter on the sports channel. D James ZW for $5. Can we all pile in a DeLorean and time travel back to change this crazy future? I wish we could, but Doc Brown seems to be in the Mandalorian now. So
it was a simpler time, no doubt. Absolutely.
Yeah. We appreciate those donations.
Green-haired anti-liberal activists aren't suited for critical thinking and therefore shouldn't be hired into any of these positions. I would be interested I would be interested to know what kind of degree this lady has.
I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
Is it a DEI degree? Isn't that
diversity, equity, and inclusion? There's actually colleges out there offering that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm stunned by that.
You want to
welcome
talk
in,
about
CD.
A degree to nowhere.
Jumped on me. Chat jumped on me.
Should be a degree to nowhere. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. You ready to dive into this, man?
Let's do it.
Well, ever since the Dylan I can't even say the name. Ever since the Dylan Mulvaney news actually drops, there seems to be a change in Anheuser-Busch's stock prices. They have now, and I'm sharing the wrong screen here. Let me share the right one for you guys. First of all, I need to go back over here and pull that one up. There we go. Now I can do it. It's early, guys. It's early. So, right here, Anheuser-Busch stock drops amid Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney controversy. Now, Rose, the only way that this can continue is that the boycotts don't need to stop after a week. I mean, you completely have to get rid of Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. Now, like I said, it may be hard to get rid of everything Anheuser-Busch, but just start off Bud Light. I'm done with it forever. So Anheuser-Busch can actually see, wait a minute, hold on. We made a mistake here. We made a big mistake here. We need to come out. We need to reverse course. And maybe, just maybe, they'll stop this woke garbage right here. But you can't stop the boycott after a week. You have to continue on doing this to put a stop to this madness.
I don't think there's any way to stop it. They started a train down the train tracks that's not going away. I don't care if they do course correct. I'm not going back to drinking their beer. They can forget that.
But here's the thing. Look at this right here. This is what happened to them. It says, despite the controversy, the company's stock is still sitting at a 52-week high and is outperforming competitors. They were up at the top already. And then they decided, you know what? I guess we need to lose business now by going down this path. I'm going to be interested to see what the stock price is actually going to be like in a month, because that may actually be a telltale sign.
Well,
let's see the Bud Light sales in a month also.
The only comparable company that I know that obviously has gone ultra woke, and a lot of people have already brought them up in the chat, is Disney, right? Disney is a good test as to what can happen when your brand gets into woke ideologies, political ideologies, aligning yourself with the alphabet mafia.
And they're not stopping.
I believe Disney lost something in the neighborhood of $63 billion.
Yeah.
$63 billion off of their overall value was what was shaved off. That was at the peak of them feuding with Ron DeSantis. Yeah, and it was right before Bob Chapek got his ass booted back out for Bob Iger, who really isn't any better.
He was always behind the scenes anyway.
Look,
I got a better company, man. Gillette. I was going to bring them up too.
I think people forgot about Gillette.
I didn't forget about Gillette. They did that trans commercial. I never bought Gillette again.
I
never bought it again.
The best a man can
get. Yeah.
A man can get.
But I tell you one company that's destroyed themselves even more than Disney. And both you and I used to be a fan of this company. Now, they're under Warner Brothers, but the CW, man, the CW went way more woke than Disney. And they're worth like nothing now.
I haven't watched anything.
No, they're pushing trans propaganda out there on The Flash, the final season of The Flash, whatever. I don't even know what it is, to tell you the truth. I stopped watching The Flash like 3 years ago. It was so bad. And it was woke propaganda.
Yeah, if you hadn't told me that it was The Flash's final season, I wouldn't have known. I mean, that's how unlike, and that was appointment viewing for me at one time. Arrow and The Flash, honestly. Oh, it's Arrow night. Oh, it's Flash night. Gonna sit down. Wow. Do you get paid for singing? I do not, Mrs. Rance, unfortunately. I do not. Look at this old fella. Eric Breen. What's going on? Haven't seen Eric in a good while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost got 200 people in here, guys. Smash that thumbs up button. Now, Rhodes, riddle me this.
Yeah.
This makes no sense to me, okay? Dylan Mulvaney so-called wants to be a woman, right?
Correct.
Why are you using then she and they pronouns? If you want to be a woman, why aren't you just using she? What's the point of this they thing, man? That's the most weird thing right there to me. You say you're trans, but you want to use they pronouns?
Doesn't that mean that the he, she
they don't feel like either or?
Do they call that gender fluid? Is that what? And
Right.
You need to understand, to say that I give less than a rat's ass about how this person wants to identify is the understatement of the century. I think pronouns that is some of the silliest bullshit that anybody has ever invented. I mean, it's absurd. I identify as. I'm waiting for the day when somebody legitimately walks up to me and says, "Hello, my name's Margaret, and my pronouns are," and I am. I mean,
Yeah.
the blank face on me is going to be like, it's absurd. That's
Yeah.
absurd.
And I'm talking about even if you're a guy. Hey, my name's John. My pronouns are he, him. I'm going to look at that as weird right there.
Oh,
Because
you're
that
a
doesn't make
space
any sense.
You're a space cadet.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they should literally put you in a rocket ship. Hey, call Elon, put them all on a SpaceX rocket ship, and launch them right into space. Maybe they can set up, they can go to Mars where they should all be, and then they can set up their own little worlds out there and not bother us any longer. Dude, you know this Dylan Mulvaney thing did and yeah, I said thing. I mean, look, when you're that effing weird, I'm gonna go with thing, it, he, she. I mean, chick with D, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, he did this whole 365-day lady thing, right?
Right.
And he chronicled this.
I want to know how in the world can anybody actually turn into a woman in a year? Because don't you have to be like a little girl, then grow up to be a woman? Just saying.
Well, did you see how mad women got so pissed at this dude because he made one of his little videos where he was all excited to mess with his Tampax.
I heard something about that. But
And
the dude insults women with that stuff.
do you know how insulting, and I mean women, drug his ass out in the street over it?
Yeah.
Because women were like, do you know how big of a burden that is in a woman's life to have to deal with? There's nothing cute about that. There's nothing fun about that. There's nothing ha-ha and a tee-hee and a ha-ha and all that tambourine playing shit this dude's out there doing.
Right.
Women were pissed. They're like, really? That's a burden. Women have to take medicine because a lot of women are in pain. Real pain every month having to deal with that.
Yeah, some women cramp really, really bad. I thank God I'm a dude. I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But you're out there and you're making light of this kind of thing. And this is only a thing because people keep entertaining it. Quit entertaining these people. You know?
The thing is, the problem with this whole thing is the woke women. The woke women are the problem with this. Like that executive VP of marketing for Bud Light. Yeah, she's woke. I'm pretty sure that she would also be perfectly okay with women going into men going into women's sports and dominating. I think I already said it. We can actually combine this channel with the sports channel and everything would just cross over. Everything, especially when it comes to this trans thing.
I've always thought that the channels could literally be the same channel.
Right.
Because it's just, it's crossed. That's why you see guys like Anthony Brian Logan and Brandon Tatum and the Hodge twins. They make sports videos.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they do. You know.
They get more views than us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I do notice something. Their sports videos are some of the biggest viewed videos that they actually ever do.
Right.
You know, it's kind of funny, but
And by the way,
yeah.
guys, we just got our first video to hit 1 million views on the sports channel. And it was actually about Dylan Mulvaney and and Nike and Raleigh Gaines.
Well, I mean, look, it all started when you have the NBA and LeBron James sauntering out to a court that's got Black Lives Matter painted all over I look back and that is still the single craziest like political thing that out of all the crazy shit these sports leagues did, you literally painted a Marxist organization's name on your basketball court. It's baffling to me. It's crazy. And it was like, you could just hear the sound. It's like, what is that insane clicking? It's all the televisions that just got turned off.
I remember when I was a kid, man, 1980s, we were definitely anti-communism here in this country. I mean, they were investigating people for being communists. Now, they're embraced. They're uplifted. By the way, remember those 3 Tennessee communists? 2 of them got kicked out.
Yeah.
One of them's back in now.
Yeah.
One of them's back in because I guess I don't want to say a technicality, but his county voted to put him back in, but there's still going to be a special election. And they were actually trying to compare the left, him coming back to Jesus rising from the dead.
The racist GOP kicked him out. You know, that was the big narrative that got played on all the Joy Reids and the View and the big leftist narrative, the racist GOP.
Yeah. The reason why those 2 got kicked out and the woman didn't is that they were way more active in trying to stir up the insurrection than her. They were actually grabbing the bullhorn. She was just kind of standing there on the side. She only survived by 1 vote. 1 vote. And actually, it seems like she was actually trying to be a hypocrite. She didn't want to play the race card when she was actually pleading her case not to be kicked out. She was actually saying the same thing I was just saying. Hey, I really wasn't that involved or anything like that. She admitted that she was wrong and all this, but then she goes on CNN and says, yeah, the only reason I wasn't voted out is because I'm white. Yeah. Let that sink in.
I knew that was going to happen. My landlords just let their dogs out.
Yeah. And all of this has to do with the trans stuff. These leftists, man, they want the T's just to take over women's spots here.
My thing is, where does this end? What becomes too much when people are condoning nudity in front of children?
Yeah. Two things. I know what you're asking. Where does it end? 2 things. You're going to have to vote politicians out. You're going to have to let them know we are not taking this anymore. We're not taking this. That's what needs to be done. But these leftists, man, one thing the left does, man, very, very well. They are extremely, extremely vocal. Whereas the right is like, okay, the right is just too kind. They want to play by the rules too much. But the left doesn't play by the rules. They're not playing your game. That's the problem right there.
I just got sent a message, and I just found out that the wife has moved her doctor's appointment to 3:45 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
good. So we can keep going then because
I'm going to be just rocking here. So,
okay. Good.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I even took a shower. Damn it to hell! I wasted my 1 shower in the week.
I took a shower right
good
before
reason.
this.
I did too.
Yeah.
For full disclosure, guys, I do shower on a regular basis.
Thank God.
I just like to clarify that, Come
Connor
on.
Akers, $5 super chat here. Thank you. You guys remember the Bud Bowl from the late 80s, early 90s? Those ads were the most underrated ads Anheuser-Bush ever did. I remember those. They were entertaining. Also, Real Men of Genius. I love those Real Men of Genius commercials.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I was just gonna get back around to Anheuser-Busch and some of their commercials back in the day and how great they were. Man, they had some epic Christmas commercials. The Clydesdales, the dog.
Yeah.
What was the I love you, man? Do you remember that guy? The I love you, man guy? Oh, I love you, man. That was a huge thing. The frogs, the freaking frogs, dude.
What was the I'm trying to think of this commercial.
I mean, that was Budweiser. A huge thing.
Oh,
the lizards.
Remember the Bud Light Yes I Am commercials?
Yeah.
I love those. Yeah. That was so good.
I mean, the idea, it was such a, honestly, Anheuser-Busch was such a, sort of it felt like a pro-American brand, did it not? They have really messed this whole thing up.
Yeah.
They really have. And like I said, people will not come back to this. Yeah. People will not forget this. Okay?
Because they shouldn't forget this.
This ideology is creeping in around your children, folks. You need to understand that. Okay? My son was going to a local school where I grew up. 1,200 people. This is a very, very red area. But it was only recently that my son came up to me and my wife and said, Mom and Dad, do you realize that pink is no longer for girls and blue is no longer for boys? And we both did a, wait, what? What are you talking about, kid? And he was like, yeah, they told us at school that pink is no longer for, and I'm like, oh, now look, he don't go to that school anymore. But of course, I was like, hell to the no, because it's that little bitty thing, John. It's that little bitty thing. Oh, let's deassociate this with boys and this with girls. That's how it starts. In a very, very red Donald Trump. I mean, this is 80%, 90% red. But it starts that small, folks.
Yep.
In a school, I would have never dreamed would have done that.
Yep.
And would have said something like that or been telling the kids something like that. And look, folks, you better get mad. At some point, we got to be upset about this. All right?
You need to. You definitely need to. Because
absolutely.
Even sports associated products got Dylan Mulvaney and Nike, of course. We talked about that. Rhodes, are you ready to be surprised by this? Now, we're going to talk a little bit of sports here because, like I said, all this ties in. About a month ago, Megan Rapinoe put out a tweet basically saying that she wanted to have transgenders in women's sports. She was out there blasting, politicians and all this other stuff. Riley Gaines got attacked last week, I believe, by transgender, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And Riley Gaines came out now, and she has blasted Megan Rapinoe. She probably got a little bit personal, and she actually deleted I believe, this tweet.
Wasn't Megan Rapinoe very pro women or supposed to be pro
Yeah,
women,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the tweet that Megan Rapinoe put out. But look at this right here, guys. Riley Gaines calls out Megan Rapinoe in now deleted tweets. She actually had the tweet up this morning, and I had it on my tablet. I was like, oh man, we got to talk about this. She blasted her, but she deleted the tweet. Now, Riley Gaines, I like Riley Gaines. I don't think she should have deleted this tweet. Now, Rhodes has not seen the tweet. Now, it was probably up, I don't know, 5 hours or so, and now it's deleted. But I'm going to read this. Riley Gaines called out Megan Rapinoe late Monday night before eventually taking the tweets down. Gaines has been in the news ever since she was brutally attacked and harassed while giving a speech at San Francisco State University last week. Gaines was speaking out in support of protecting women's sports, and for that, she faced a mob that turned violent. And by the way, the woke school basically tried to paint the woke students as the victims, but I digress. The former Kentucky swimmer needed police protection, and the mob demanded money at one point to let her leave. However, she's not backing down. The mob against her has always motivated her to dig in and continue to speak out in support of women's sports. And that's an image right there of Riley Gaines having to be escorted out right there. But right here, Rhodes, get ready, man. I'm trying to amp it up for you a little bit here since you haven't seen this.
Okay.
Riley Gaines calls out Megan Rapinoe for virtue signaling. Late Monday night, Gaines quote tweeted a tweet from the American soccer star claiming that trans kids are not the issue in sports. Okay, Megan Rapinoe. Well, Megan Rapinoe, Rhodes, you remember that USWNT, whatever they want to call themselves, the women's soccer team. They
U.S.
played a
women's
high
national
school
team.
Yeah, they played a high school boys soccer team, like in a scrimmage or something.
They
got demolished.
Yeah,
They got demolished by under 15. I wouldn't even call them amateurs. They couldn't even compete with them. I believe they lost like 5-1. But this is what Riley Gaines said. Got a little bit personal here. She says, well, actually, Megan Rapinoe writes here on March 8th. Today, politicians in D.C. are claiming to protect women's sports by pushing a trans and intersex sports ban. Call your congressional rep today to save women's sports. I can't believe she said that right there.
Wow. Okay.
Call your congressional rep to say women's sports needs protection from unequal pay, sexual abuse, and lack of resources, not from trans kids. Hashtag let kids play. Riley Gaines put this out and deleted it. It's worth noting that 1, you are done playing sports competitively, and 2, because you aren't sexually attracted to men, you will never have a daughter to defend. To me, this simply looks like virtue signaling because you have nothing to personally lose. I respect opinions that differ from my own, and everyone is entitled to speak independently, but I can't help but think Megan Rapinoe would genuinely shive any male who tried to take her spot on the U.S. women's national team. Rhodes, go ahead.
Damn. Number one, I wish she hadn't deleted it, to be honest.
Exactly.
My gut feeling is, and this is a side note, but I'll say maybe she deleted it because somebody told her, look, this may incite some violence against you somewhere. So
well, they were gonna be violent
be aware
anyway.
of that.
They already got violent with her
true.
when she just said, "Hey, men shouldn't be competing against women." That's happened.
I don't know at what point Megan Rapinoe became pro penis, because I
she's
mean,
loving it now.
I'm just being honest. From where I'm sitting, Megan Rapinoe loves her some penis all of a sudden. Because if you are out there defending a biological man stepping out and competing against women, you are no longer pro-women, which is something you've been banging the drum about for how many years? I mean, what is it with these leftists?
Yeah.
They fell at capitalism 101 continuously. They're out there banging the drum because of a women's pay gap. Well, guess what? Your damn sport doesn't make any money. That's why you don't get equal pay, because your sport is not as valuable as the next sport.
Well,
sorry,
they do
not
now,
sorry.
but it's because of communism now.
Well, it's ridiculous. It's some Marxist lets everybody put everything in one pot and start sharing crap. That's, by the way, they would love to see everybody's sexual identification be the same way. Let's just put everybody all into one pot and start mixing people around. And then, hey, that's a man today, but tomorrow it's a woman. Tomorrow, the next day it's a giraffe. The next day it's a damn rhinoceros. But back today, I'm a man. That's how they want everything. They want everything to be tribal, to be shared, whether it's sexual preferences, all of this crap. It's weird. You guys are a bunch of freaks. Now, it's funny because Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird, I guess they never wanted to adopt anybody. I understand. She probably said, Riley Gaines probably said, I shouldn't have went there with the daughter thing. No, you're right.
You're right.
You're absolutely right.
They cannot reproduce.
It's a safety. Look, never mind a competitive issue. It's a safety issue. At some point, a woman is going to die. A woman is going to die during competition against a biological male. They're going to get killed.
Do you realize? Let's take, I don't know who the best women's boxer is right now. I have no idea. What if, and I know this won't happen, what if a guy that used to be called the baddest man on the planet just said, you know what? I'm Mike Tyson. I want to be called Michelle Tyson now. I feel like a woman. You throw a 50, how old is Mike Tyson? 55? You throw him
55.
in with the best women's boxer in their heavyweight division. It'll be a Apollo Creed Ivan Drago situation.
Absolutely.
Mike Tyson's body blows
They might
have been known to crush people. Imagine if he actually did that to a woman.
He might break somebody's neck.
That'd be 6 feet under.
He might break somebody's neck. I mean, it's that big of a difference. And it's frightening that somebody is wanting to put women into this position. It's crazy. Never mind the fact that you're yanking scholarships away from women now.
Yeah.
Scholarships they deserve. You're stealing them. That's what you're doing. You're stealing them from women that have worked hard. The parents have gotten these kids coaches and all this stuff to get them to an elite Division I level, a lot of times Division II. They got scholarships, all this kind of thing, and somebody like Leah Thomas comes sauntering in with his junk swinging and rips it all away from them, just like that.
Yep.
And Megan Rapinoe, Sue Bird, and Becky Sauerbrunn, everybody that signed that whole statement against the Women's Protection Act, you are all a bunch of grifting assholes. You don't give a rat's ass about women at all. I don't want to hear feminism out of your mouth at all. None.
Well said.
You no longer have an argument or a leg to stand on. The moment you say it's okay for this dude with a penis to come in and compete against a woman, you're full of 9 kinds of monkey shit. You're done. You're out. You have officially and congratulations, you are Colin Kaepernick, because you have figured out every way to monetize your bullshit that you have been feeding everybody for years. It's crazy. And that's the thing. I hate the uncompetitive part about this, the unfairness of the competitive part. I hate that part. It drives me nuts. It's not fair. But somebody's going to die. And that's going to be the tragic thing. And you know what happened? What will happen? They won't care when it happens. They'll keep pushing for this bullshit.
Yep.
They'll keep pushing. Because if a transgender can walk into a Christian school and mow down 6 people, and 4 or 5 days later, the Nashville Predators can have their transgender day of visibility or whatever it was in the NHL, these people don't care about human life. You need to realize that. Yep. They don't care. They care about agendas. They care about poisoning people's minds, including your children. Think about that crap. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, it's just, he's not a beagle. He is a Jack Russell, but that's why he's my favorite, because he kind of looks like he kind of looks like a beagle. And his name is JR. We were going to name him Junior, but I've got a cat named Junior, so we went with JR. So I like to think J.R. Ewing of Dallas. Larry Hagman, if anybody's old enough to know who that is, that's how old we are. Larry Hagman, Dallas. So
that was a Rhodes Rants right there, ladies and gentlemen. That was a Rhodes Rants. We got a super chat to get here. Mr. Thing for 199 pounds. This is AB's Gillette moment right there. Thanks for that donation.
These people have officially made Antonio Brown look sane.
Yeah.
That's where we've got
something right there.
When you have made Antonio Brown look lucid, something's wrong with you. Yeah. Just saying it.
Yeah. We got over 300 people here on YouTube watching right now. Thanks for joining in. That's why we actually like to start these shows at 10 a.m., but had to go 9 a.m. today, but now we found out we really could have started at 10, but doesn't matter. We got another Bud Light story. I don't know if you actually saw this one, Rhodes. This story here, there is something different happening here with this bar. Check this out on Outkick. Bud Light causing problems inside Kentucky bar amid Dylan Mulvaney saga. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
Now, it's not that people aren't buying the beer. It's that when the people are buying the beer, other patrons in the bar are going after them for buying it. So this could get kind of ugly here. So it says here, what are you going to say?
So you're saying this movement is dangerous. Tell us something we don't know, Mr. Matrix.
It says here, Guy Cummins owns a bar in the state of Kentucky. He's known for his barbecue as well as his domestic beer. Yet Cummins has considered dropping Bud Light from his menu, but not in protest of the brand's association with a gender hustler. I like that. Dylan Mulvaney. Brother Cummins says selling the beer is causing his customers danger. According to Newsweek, customers at the bar have engaged in verbal brawling with Bud Light drinkers over the Mulvaney campaign. Quote, a few days ago, I noticed a person got Bud Light and the other patrons were making fun of them, Cummings said on Facebook. If it's going to cause a problem, why have it? I'm protective of the people coming in here. Now, I see what he's saying right there. Now, the people that's actually buying the Bud Light, I'm willing to bet that these people probably don't even know about the Dylan Mulvaney thing.
Sure. Sure. Of course, there's people that have no clue whatsoever. Let's say I was still working corporate and I was busy off in my own little world. And back then I didn't pay attention to all the daily drama. Yeah, if something big happened like, 9/11 or something massive, of course I knew what was going on. But something like this, I would have missed. I was just too busy to have been locked in.
Yeah. That it's our jobs now to actually.
It's our job to be aware now. You walk in a bar, you order the thing, and all of a sudden it's an issue. They want chaos. Okay, that's part of this.
Yes.
All right, they want chaos. They want a breakdown of simple ideals and things that used to allow people to get along. Where you walk into a bar, and a lot of people, generally speaking, if you go to a bar, you usually go to the same bar. Most people are locked into each other in there. Everybody leaves everybody alone. Everybody's having a good time. And yeah, of course, people are going to say something, because when you advocate for something like this, you're attacking people's sensibilities, right? You're attacking. This is a direct assault on sensibilities, on morals, on values. There's only so much of backing me into a corner that you're going to do, right? Okay, they're shoving this shit in my face. They're shoving it in my face. I'm supposed to just take it, accept it, blah, blah, blah. You back me into a corner. At some point, the everyday person is going to start fighting back. They're going to get vocal. They're going to stand up. They are going to look at the person and be like, hey, man, what are you doing right now? Why in the world would you be drinking that right now under the circumstances? They're giving you a middle finger as an American, trying to bring in this and this is what is all lost. It kind of comes back to what we were all founded on, as a country. I mean, this country was, in large part, it was founded and based with religious values and strong values and morals. They want that to break down. This is part of it. Make no mistake. And of course, people are going to say something.
This whole thing kind of reminds me of like Mao's Cultural Revolution in China. Different, but the same. And it was the young people, because they were going after the young people. The young people, they were not the architects of it, but they were really pushing the Cultural Revolution. They all had their little red books with Maoism in it. It's the same kind of thing here. Same kind of thing. Except it's cultural Marxism, the same thing. But if we don't get a grip on this, man, you won't even recognize this country in 5 years. 2024 is super duper important. Very important.
You've heard me talk about this. Kids are getting out of high school. They're going to liberal universities. Liberal university is turned into a machine, and that machine is shoving a diversity, equity, and inclusion narrative down your kids' throats. You combine that with the fact that you've got so many parents out there that have not set a good example for their children when it comes to work ethic. We're having basic breakdowns on the ground floor level of what this country is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about hard work and good, strong morals and values and all this.
But the left doesn't believe in hard work.
America.
They believe in equity, which is communism. They want the lazy people to get everything that the hardworking people get.
Exactly. I mean, Marxism is like a tribalism. They want everybody in the tribe to be able to have a little piece. You know, oh, I'm not worried about, most people want their private life to be private. They don't want their kids subjected to certain things, but those kind of people don't. Oh, I don't mind if so and so holds my kid for a while I go do blah blah blah, and they're all sharing each other's kids and hanging out and subjecting them to all kinds of shit. You got one of them that might be willing to work, so everybody else doesn't have to hit a lick. This whole thing's a nightmare. It really is. I don't, you're not supposed to bring up the let's just put it this way. Does anybody remember what happened between the North and the South in this country at one time? Okay.
Yeah.
We're not talking about North against the South anymore. We're not. But we're headed down in a direction, and we're law-abiding citizens. We are. We pride ourselves on being law-abiding. It's part of what our makeup is.
Yeah.
But you keep pushing people into a corner. Eventually, the other alternative is exactly what. Who were we talking about the other day that talked about secession? It was Jason Whitlock.
Yeah, Jason Whitlock.
I mean, that's why he brings things like that up, because, again, we're heading into directions and angles where people are not going to come together on a lot of issues. That's what drives me nuts about the direction that Fox News is headed in, because it's clear they keep talking about, they got these segments, and I don't know, they're called like Even Ground or Common Ground or some shit like that. And there's always a Democrat on there, and there's always a Republican on there.
There's no common ground with the leftists.
And I'm like, what are y'all talking about right here? What are y'all talking about? Because there is no common ground with a lot of this thing. We're not coming together on it. Sorry, not sorry.
When it comes to trans and kids, there is no negotiations. There's none at all.
Zero tolerance policy.
Yeah. And honestly, if there was something for common ground, I wouldn't give the leftists an inch. Not even an inch. Because you give them an inch, they're going to want more and more and more and more.
There's things that's been accepted even by some Republicans out there, some amongst us, and certain lifestyles that, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people, I know how you feel about certain things. There's a lot of things that people have come to accept that, should we really? You gave an inch on it, and look what's happened.
Yeah.
Complete breakdown. Complete breakdown.
True.
So, I don't know. It's wild. Sorry, guys. I got off on a wild tangent
No.
there.
Actually, you had another story you wanted to talk about, right?
Do we want to do the died suddenly?
Yeah, might as well.
We can do it.
I have not heard about this one.
Let me see if I've got. Oh, that's right. I came out of it. Hold on a sec. Because I checked out that yesterday's shooter being an All-American basketball player, so I changed my screen. Hold on one sec.
And while he's looking it up, what do you guys say here in the chat? Texas, it's time for us to be our own republic again. You know what? I'll be down with it. We were our own country for 9 years. I mean, if you look at us versus New York, we're not even the same country, to tell you the truth.
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we're so different now. as a nation. So many areas are so different to other areas. I gotta tell you, I don't know how. I mean, like I said, there's certainly issues we're not finding common ground on.
Right.
Period. This is the Daily Mail, folks. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a strange theme going on out there, a strange new reality. Seems like a becoming more and more common, and it is people that have just randomly at a young age just dropped dead.
We've done a ton of videos on the sports channel on this. Made some over here as well on this channel.
I mean, I did one that was like a 27-year-old mother of 4, just boom, cardiac arrest, dead.
Wow.
Now, guys, that's not normal. I'm going.
No.
I mean, that's not normal. 19-year-old soccer players, 20-year-old boxers dying suddenly of cardiac arrest. That's not a thing. If anybody can't remember 2 years ago, that wasn't a thing. And I think we all have our suspicions, as you can imagine. So let's dig into another one. We've got another one. We got a soccer player here. Family and friends, colleagues have paid tribute to a 28-year-old footballer after he died suddenly. Mason Peddle, who was the under-23s captain of the AFC Portchester near Fareham, passed away in recent days. Tributes have poured in for the top guy, with loved ones describing him as a huge character and adding that his death will be a huge loss for everybody. Under 23's manager, Mark Dugan, said of this difficult news, our captain, our teammate, our friend will be so missed by all at the club, and no more so than by all of us at the under 23s. Our captain, yes, but also a huge character around the club, around the island, and surrounding football community. Of course, we're talking about soccer here, folks. As teammate, to many, his influence was there for all to see and will no doubt be carried on by many he helped in their footballing journey. Now, look at this guy. John, does this guy look like somebody that's unhealthy?
No, he looks healthy to me.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think on a soccer field, don't you run on average like 5 to 7 miles per soccer game that you play in?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I kid you not. It's something like that is ridiculous during the average soccer game that in adult soccer you end up running. It's like 5 to 7 miles. I mean, this guy should outlive all of us. You, me, everybody that's in the chat, unless they're a soccer player.
Especially being 28 years old. You're in your physical prime.
Oh, look at this guy. I mean, that guy is in real... I mean, not only is he a soccer player, you can tell he's probably hit a little iron in his life. This is nuts. I mean, it truly is. Some of Mr. Peddle's fellow teammates at AFC Portchester reacted on his death to social media, with James Cowan penning, "The kindest, most lovable soul about. I have absolutely no words to say today, just to know you was loved by so many." This is crazy. There's a GoFundMe for this guy, and they're trying to raise with a target of 20,000 pounds. It went over 17,000 pounds in a half a day. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. We're seeing that
way too often.
Dude, we've done what? 40 of them? Maybe?
I don't know, man. A lot. I mean, we did like 3 in one day.
I mean, the one thing I can honestly say about Damar Hamlin is, on a much larger scale, all of a sudden, a lot of people started paying a lot closer attention.
Yes.
You know, and
after him, it just exploded.
Well, look, it doesn't help that when you're sitting there and you're being interviewed by Michael Strahan and you get asked, "What happened, DeMar?"
I really don't want to answer that. In other words, he knows what happened. He knows what happened to him, but he will not answer what caused him to collapse.
I normally am of the opinion, hey, it's nobody's business when it comes to medical. But his situation was a little different.
It was. The world saw it. Monday Night Football.
Well, not only that, but a lot of people went to, went a long way to try to support that guy too. Even monetarily, they went a long way to support the guy. Absolutely. And I think if he knows, look, there's something that could have contributed to this, it would be great to let everybody else know it.
Yep.
Man, could you do that? I don't know. This is nuts. Rest in peace. Another athlete gone. It's just
way too soon.
Yeah, insane.
Crazy.
I want to live in Montana.
We got a super chat here from Steve Smith for $5 Australian. Does anyone realize that American culture is very influential to other Western countries?
Right.
I don't know what he's saying right there. None of that ever gets mentioned from Australia. Yeah. I mean, on the world stage, we're very influential. But right now, the world doesn't actually respect us at all. So.
Oh, no. On a worldwide scale, I mean, you remember when they referred to us as one of the superpowers? Remember that whole thing? I mean, is there anything about our country right now that feels like a superpower?
No. I mean, if we were really, really still a superpower, Russia would not be invading Ukraine. China wouldn't be plotting to invade Taiwan. They don't respect us.
At all.
None.
They certainly don't respect our commander in chief.
No, that's the big issue right there.
That sumbitch right there that's on that super chat, they do not respect him. I assure you of that.
Yeah. Whaler $860, $1.99, Joe Biden purity blockers. Oh boy, that's funny. I like that.
I don't know if it's this Diet Mountain Dew, but I've gotten a little cranked up on this this podcast / live stream. I don't know if you noticed. So, Diet Mountain Dew,
slowly, man. Got to drink them slow. Man, all the super chats are coming in now. I guess this is a super chat section.
I love it. Keep bringing them. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Clint Logan, $5. Texas proud. Yeah. I am Texas proud too. Born and raised in the great state of Texas.
I was born in Crystal City, Texas, which was literally, it's just over the border from Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My mother once said that when she went into labor, her and my father were actually in Mexico.
Oh, I think you told me this story.
Over there sightseeing and just driving. Guys, this was back in like 75 when you could actually just drive over into Mexico and sightsee and not have to worry about necessarily getting your brains blown out or your head chopped off. Well, anyway, Dad said, okay. And she said, whatever you do, you better get our asses across the border before I have this kid.
Hey, thanks, Steve Anders. He says on this channel is awesome. Just talking to people, talking common sense. Yep. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. The kind of words right there.
T Ripper, truly love the channel, guys. NYC here. We are dying here. We talked about New York the other day. I mean, I had that on one of my absolute must see vacation. I'm a Yankees fan. I wanted to go up there, take in a game, just sightsee. It's completely off my list.
Yeah. I never wanted to go to New York. I've driven through New York City, but I never wanted to visit there, never wanted to live there. It's way too expensive, man.
I have no desire to go there now at all. None.
Yep.
Zero.
Yep. Lone Raven, heck you guys are great. Thank you. Thank you. Every day at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we will be here, except for on Fridays, because Fridays, that reminds me, by the way, consider becoming a channel member, because on Fridays, we have our member live stream at 10 a.m. It's not on YouTube. You can just click the join button here or become a member at blackandwhitenetwork.com. It's not on YouTube, so we don't have to hold our tongue like we do here on YouTube, because we'd probably lose the channel if we did. So
tell my wife that, because she thinks I work too much. Hey, slackers, put out more videos.
We do work a lot. There's no doubt about it. We do work a lot.
It's pretty wild, the idea that we finally got, even though it's just one day each, that we actually got a day off. But I'll say this, man, come about like 7:30 on a Sunday, I am starting to just gnaw at the bit. I'm ready to start recording. I'm like, I want to record. I've got the itch. I mean, it's weird. It's kind of strange. It's an addictive kind of, well, it just started out as a hobby, but just evolved over into like a career choice,
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
I take Saturdays off, and this past Saturday did my thing, and then I fell asleep for a while. Then I woke up, I was so refreshed, and then I just recorded a couple of videos for Sunday. Probably shouldn't have did that, but it made my life a lot easier on Sunday. But we really could actually have 2 days off, to tell you the truth. But hopefully we can get there. If we get 1 million views on a video every day, I mean, yeah, we will.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last night. We'd love to get to a point where 100,000 views is pretty standard for each of the 3 channels,
Yeah.
And then who knows?
For the sports channel, that's definitely doable. But this channel right here, we're not there yet.
I think I noticed it just seems like
maybe
we're starting
knocking on
to
the door
churn a little bit, I mean, once you hit for 150,000 view video, you'll start having some 15s and some 18s and some 25s, and then all of a sudden, bam, you got a 78,000 view video or something.
Yeah.
And then we all know there's sort of like an addition effect there. It just all starts building up on top.
I just thought of a good idea to actually give us another day off.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought of something. I guess we can just say it here. Maybe we can actually like record privately, like on one day for like, I don't know, hour or so, and then just cut it out in the videos, and we have a second day off.
I wonder. I bet we'd have to record longer than that.
Yeah, we probably would.
Probably be like 2 hours, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably like 2 hours, and then just cut it out.
I just think it's eventually going to get to the point where we'll be able to do one during the week, where I take a Wednesday and you take a Thursday, or you take a Tuesday and I take a Wednesday. That kind of thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If something crazy happens and LeBron James comes out and endorses Trump randomly out of nowhere, I mean,
which never happened.
whether I'm off or not, I mean, I'm my day off just went out the window, and we're probably going live. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Steve Smith with another $5 Australian dollars. If you ever get aboard and want to be trailblazers, pick up a lot of loyal viewers, have a look at the stuff going down in Australia. The thing is, though, since we're here, we don't hear too much about, what's going on in other countries for the most part. And that news honestly I don't think it does that well on our channel because most of our subs here are from the US. Even though we did cover the lockdowns down there because that was more of a worldwide thing.
We've done a couple of sports videos that have actually done fairly well that involved Australia,
Yeah.
usually around soccer, I think, or something like that. And yeah. I mean, I know that one of our buddies, my boy SC Reviews, he's in Australia, and his channel has gotten pretty good size now too.
Yeah.
All these guys that used to do Star Wars do politics now.
Yeah. Or more cultural stuff.
Yeah.
The culture war stuff.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Anything else we need to talk about, Rhodes?
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
All right. Good show. Thanks for everybody for showing up here. We had almost 400 people in here. And thanks to the people over there on Rumble that are watching. Appreciate you guys also as well. But 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we will be back tomorrow with another show. Peace. We're out.
Till next time.